Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Man, it's Q&A time. So y'all got 3 minutes. If nobody asks any questions, anything y'all want, just drop a question in the chat. It's chat Q&A time. Y'all got 3 minutes to hit me with some questions. I'll answer whatever. If y'all don't have no questions, I'll tap out the live. But if y'all got questions, we'll stay on here. I got time. It's Q&A time. Holla at me, chat. Yup. Yeah, man, that code language conversation was dope. Code language conversation. Make sure y'all know y'all codes, man. Chat Q&A. I'm sure Deacon got a question, but I don't even know if you still in here. It's crazy. I got to figure out how I could see exactly who viewing my shit. I could see how many, but I can't see who it is. I'll be wanting to shout people out to show them some love. If y'all in the chat, holla at me. But I know people like it be truck drivers listening to live streams too. So some people be on the road. I don't want nobody playing dangerous trying to be in the chat. You feel me? I done almost lost my life in a vehicle a couple times in a real way. In a real way. Y'all don't know the half. But I'm sure it'll come out of my content one day. Here we go. We got a question. Tenfo. Why are we shamed for preferring a woman with a low body count? We're only shamed by people who it's too late for. It's very hard. It's hard for people. Okay, like we got to have some sympathy and some empathy for this, right? It's hard for people to hear a truth that makes them uncomfortable, that is irreversible, right? So instead of like having to watch content on YouTube or see reels or this, that, and the third, or see all these little snippets from podcasts where men are like speaking about how they prefer a woman who has kind of, saved it a little bit, kept the numbers low. They're uncomfortable because it's too late for a lot of them, right? And then what is low? See, that'd be the thing too. These days, if you ask a person what low is, if you ask 10 people, you probably get 10 different answers. And I mean, if you ask 10 of each sex, so 10 men, you might get 10 different answers. To me, a low body count is 5 and under. That's low to me. That is like you're in the running off that. Don't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? That's low to me. You know what I mean? But then it's like, what is an acceptable number? That's when the conversation start getting uncomfortable for people. Because it's like, okay, what's acceptable? If I tell you acceptable as far as like qualifications for long term, if I'm talking to a group of women or if I'm in front of a group of women, right? Let's say this was a podcast and a group of women was really in front of us. We on stage. And I say, well, an acceptable body count to consider a woman for marriage to me is also 5 and under. Many of them will be disgruntled, disheartened, not because they want me to see them as a candidate, but just because simply what I'm saying could be viewed as negative and it's applicable. It's applicable. You know what I mean? Like they know that they outside of the lines. So I think a lot of times the shaming is just a defense mechanism. I said all that to get around to that. I think it's just a way of getting on the defense. For real. If we just being honest, because but at the same time, oftentimes I never really hear shaming. I don't really hear shaming. I mean, I believe in shaming. So, but I'm saying I don't really hear it from other people. I'll hear men expressing like, I prefer this, I prefer that. It would be nice if this or that. But as far as like, I believe in shaming. You'll hear some shaming on my channel. I believe bring back the Scarlet Letter. Like make it cool for women to be proud of like having less sexual experience again. Make that cool again. Make like being fine as hell, fully dressed, cool again. Like make that cool. Like because that's wife energy. Like if you women want to be wives, men all over the internet, myself included, be giving out the recipe. The problem is they just don't like it. They don't like the ingredients that you're talking about. They don't like the recipe. They reading it like, I don't eat some of this stuff. I got allergies to some of this shit you talking about in this recipe. But men giving out the game. You know what I'm saying? We got a comment. But we have so many sexually compromised men that we can't get on code and figure out a group consciousness on what is and is not acceptable. The women slip through the cracks by shaming men into caving. I have to disagree with you, Deacon. Let me read through this again to make sure I'm following you completely. We have so many sexually compromised men that we can't get on code and figure out a group consciousness on what is and is not acceptable. The women slip through the cracks by shaming men into caving. Caving in what way, though? Shaming men into caving, how? I think that's the part that's confusing me. But when you say sexually compromised men, you mean men who have like explored their options already, like they have high body counts or whatever the case may be? Because here's the thing, here's the reality of it. Men who have a lot of sexual experience, as long as they're still physically healthy, you know what I mean? Having that experience doesn't disqualify them for being a husband for most women. You rarely seldom hear a woman say, I want a man who hasn't slept with a bunch of women or I just want a man with limited sexual experience. I haven't heard any women say that online. I'm sure they exist. I'm not saying they don't exist, but not in abundance. I haven't heard any of it. And I consume a lot of hours of like informational material, podcast material, sociology type shit. So I haven't heard any women emphasizing that they even care about men's body count. But the fact that pick-me's are the ones who are wives, like women who call women pick-me's like it's an insult, they're feminists. Because being a pick-me is a compliment. When I hear a woman get called a pick-me, I'll be wanting to see what she about. Oh, she a pick-me? What she be talking about? Yeah, women who want to get picked. That makes sense. Like if you're not a pick-me, what's the opposite? Somebody who's consistently difficult, disagreeable. It's not a wife. Nobody's signing up for life with that energy, that attitude. Nobody won't push back all day. That's not a no. Deacon said sexually compromised men are men who don't have boundaries on their limits on the pursuit of sex, i.e. a simp. Okay, I got you. They're the ones that be getting finessed too. They be getting finessed a lot. He also said, but I think that women shame weak men to accepting their higher body counts in order for them to land somewhere without consequences after all of their bad choices. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And I probably, I'm not gonna make some people happy with this, but honestly, I only think women who are still attractive, body count high or body count low, women who keep themselves physically attractive, they're gonna forever be able to attract suitors. And I don't care how old they is. They could be 60. If she's 60 and she keep herself up and she still got it, she gonna forever be able to attract suitors. I think the issue is that women, this is what we call hitting the wall. They get to a space where the people who are attracted to them, though there is still a populace of people attracted to them, it's no longer anybody that they are attracted to. That's where the frustration sets in. That's what we call hitting the wall. It's not that they are without options. They're without options that they see as viable, which in my definition, that means you don't have options. If options means there's somebody I know that knows me, that I would want to be with and that would want to be with me, but for whatever reason, we're not exploring that at this point in time, but we both see each other as somebody we would deal with on another level. But there's intangibles that are currently in the way, but that's an option. If you have people in your phone that want you and you don't want any of them, none of them are options. That's not an option. It's a suitor, right? It's somebody who's in front of you, who's made themselves present, who's made themselves available. But if you do not see them as potential, they are not an option. You know what I'm saying? So I think we get that twisted too. Like what the difference between an option is and somebody who's just, shooting. Deacon said, I think that women shame weak men to accepting their higher body counts in order for them to land somewhere without consequences after all their bad choices. Okay, I read that already. Then you said that's because the men are weak. They value beauty over character, and that's what society does to weak men. Oh, yeah, getting finessed and shit. Yeah, you got to stop caring about what they look like early. If you want to avoid some of the shit that come with that, you got to stop caring about what they look like early. God forbid you get your first baddie We're gonna do some content on that too. The first baddie experience. Every man gonna have to come to the front of the congregation in that one. We all done did too much. Yeah, we all done did too much. We didn't got out here before. Ain't nobody undefeated in the streets. We know that. But did you I hope I gave a good response to your question, bro. Yeah, I hope I gave. You said, why are we ashamed for preferring a woman with a lower body count? Yeah, I just think like anything, it's all about pros and cons. And I think that when you weigh the pros and cons and shit like that, if you ask someone to be honest about their preference, they're going to prefer something that has more pros than cons. And so if we spell it out from a logical standpoint, it's not a personal attack on anyone. And I understand how it may sting a bit if you've already made choices that are contrary to that's being discussed. But it still is what it is. And it doesn't mean that you can't move forward. But it does mean that depending on your age, depending on your level of experience, depending on the baggage that you come with, depending on these things, you may need to taper your tastes, taper your requirements, taper your expectations so that you can actually achieve the real goal of some true, pure companionship with somebody that sees real value in you and that's going to treat you good and that's got a good mind and a heart for you so that even when they make mistakes, their intentions was right. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you could build on and sustain with. I think that we don't have a connectivity issue. We have a sustainability issue. There are plenty of women all over the place that tell you how easy it is to get a man. They don't keep them. And they'll tell you, I wasn't trying to keep them. I left. Well, that's part of the sustainability issue. Thank you for making my point. That's how that works, right? So bragging about always being the one to leave, it's like bragging about always being the problem. You know what I mean? That's so, and then, well, we left because you made us leave because you wasn't shit. Well, then it's like, okay, well, how do he even get this far with you? Well, don't put it back on me. Well, stop escaping accountability. We're not saying this guy is infallible. We hear you. You said he cheated. Okay, we believe you. Did you do anything wrong at all? No, I was a perfect angel. Okay, so why aren't you married now? Well, I haven't found anybody that's okay. Well, listen, so me personally, being a person who's seen many weddings, I have been an officiant in a wedding. Yes, my signature is on marriage licenses. I've been an officiant in a wedding. I've been a best man in multiple weddings. I've been a groomsman. I've been a member of the audience. I've been a ring bearer. I've been everything but the groom. I've seen people get married. I know how wives talk. I know the energy that they give off. I know why men choose the women that they chose. If you get around the wife on the wedding day and you see the energy that she's exuding and the way that they are around each other, you understand why he felt this one was the one that he needed to lock in with. There's an energy there. There's an embrace there. She fuck with him like that, how he is. Yeah. She really like him for real. So I think oftentimes that be the difference. A lot of times, and then this the thing too, which that is evil in nature, but we don't point it out. When men make genuine passes at women because they actually see something in women, and women for their own selfish reasons decide to entertain a man, even though they don't like him for real, and they know they don't like him for real, they entertain him anyway. They need to free that man because he may shut down his whole process. He may simp out behind it and stop dating all other people and only focus on her, and she only entertaining him, and he's naive to the fact that he not going to be celebrated in this situation. He's being tolerated. He's being dealt with. So it's like that's victimization. That's predatory, in my opinion. But yeah, he said you gave plenty of good answers. Thank you. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, but it's Q&A, man. I'll give y'all 2 more minutes because I see a few more people came in. We at the chat Q&A part of the show, so drop a question in the chat. Anything you want, I'll answer it, speak to it. We'll wait till it get to the hour, 15-minute mark, and if nobody got any questions, I'll tap out the live. But while we here, if you're not subscribed to both of my YouTube channels, make sure you subscribe to both. We got the Classic Codes, and then you have Classic Codes Sports. Make sure you subscribe to both my YouTube channels. We're about to ramp up the sports channel. It's already active and it's moving. We're about to ramp that up, and especially going into football season. But make sure you subscribe to both and turn on notifications because we're doing live. We're doing it every day, and I think we're putting together a great live show, man. I really do. We've had some very successful shows, and the channel producing high-level content every single day. So if you're looking for a good channel to get information and entertainment, because sometimes I come on here and crash straight out. Today I've been cool. Today I've been super just chill. We talking about the topics, but sometimes I come on here and crash out. It depends. I think it's the reaction videos that get me. Because today I almost crashed out today on the reaction part when Shorty said all that about dealing with all these different men and bragged about getting a train ran on her for her 50th birthday. And then she topped it off at the end and said, I'm monogamous in my soul. And that's when I knew. And then y'all will get mad at us for saying women say anything. I mean, she's just one woman. But the shit sometimes that just come out like, what the fuck? You know, sorry for the vulgarity. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. The chat been quiet, man. Deacon been holding it down for sure. Always great conversation. Deacon, you got to hit me up on the gram, man, and DM me and let me know what your schedule is so we can get you up on the live feed, bro. You gotta let me know what your schedule is. If we got to go evening with it one day or whatever, early morning on the weekend, however we got to put it together, bro. Just let me know. I'd love to have that conversation in person. We bring you up for the question of the day, bring you up for the code language. You know, maybe maybe the reaction, just depending on what it is, bro. We got to put that together. But yeah, man, if there isn't any more questions for me, man, it's been another successful live show. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. Make sure, again, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the notifications, jump into the comments if you're watching this after the live stream, and let's have a conversation because we got to crack these codes. If you don't do anything else, man, stick to the codes. Another classic.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Harden my heart and now harden the flow.